everyone, and thanks for joining us for a brand new episode of Four Friends in a Book podcast. My name is Chris Colston, and of course, I'm here with my friends, Isaiah Tukes, Kimberly Lake, Maria Reed, and this book on the screen for the month of January, kicking out the new year, 2026, y'all. We are reading Allegedly by Miss Tiffany D. Jackson. So look, if you're tuning in for the very first time, Four Friends in a Book is our monthly podcast series where we read a book together. So we read a book, we meet here to discuss that book, to talk about it, to review it, and also to just have conversations that may not even be related to that book. And of course, at the end, we have these rants from none other than Mr. Rant Man, Isaiah Tukes, each month. So again, if you guys are tuning in for the very first time, get caught up in current with Four Friends in a Book, look, like, share, subscribe, comment on all of our social media platforms on YouTube. Look, and if you're following us, if you're watching on YouTube right now, look, definitely hit that notification bell so you can get all of our latest content. And look, leave us some comments. We would love to hear from you guys. We're always looking for new book recommendations, new topics, and just to catch up with you guys as well. Like, we friends over here and want you guys to be our friends as well. So chime in with us, leave us comments. Give us some good feedback here on Four Friends of the Book podcast. All right, y'all. So look, we done made it to the new year.
Thank you.
Yes.
We are in January 2026. It's kind of starting off with a fictional thriller. For this month, we are reading Allegedly by Miss Tiffany D. Jackson. Kind of a little twisted story here. Again, it's a fictional book, but following the character of Mary Addison. She's at the age of 9, she allegedly murders or kills this infant child that she's babysitting with her mom. And so we follow this journey of her kind of going through the legal system, some of the social system. She ended up going to a girl's home for, again, this alleged crime of killing a child, an infant, at the age of 9. And so, of course, she doesn't go to jail because she's a minor, but we just follow this journey of her, again, allegedly committing this act, and then even find out in the end what really happens. And so, look, I'm telling y'all right now, we are giving spoilers. So if you haven't read this
right, please read a book.
So look, we're gonna drop some timeline segments in this YouTube video. So look, if you haven't read this book, just go ahead and skip to our hot topic in the rant or whatever you want to skip to, because we are not going to talk about this book without giving away spoilers. So if you haven't read it right now, like, just go hit that fast forward button and jump to the next segment. But we are definitely going to get into some spoilers and really talk about this book, Allegedly, by Miss Tiffany.
But like and subscribe first before you leave.
Yeah, most definitely. Look, you didn't got to leave. Just skip to our hot topic.
Make sure you like it, though.
And then once you read it, come back and hear our review.
Yes.
But again, a good book to kind of kick us off for the new year. This thriller, kind of fictional story. And so, leading off of my first question, y'all already know what it is. What did you think about this book? And if you had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, what would that be? And so I'm coming to Ms. Maria Reed to kick us off. For
the pressure is on because I don't know what y'all thought about it. And I'm I don't know. I really don't know. Normally, I kind of have a hint. I'll be like, so, and Isaiah normally will kind of say a little something. But I don't know.
A little something in there.
I know. I don't know. So it's going to be a true, this is all me. I will say it was very well written. I think I was when I listened to it on Audible, when I was listening to it, I was saying, I think the author's a little crazy because she was like, she was having to portray this girl, to be so detailed in how her thoughts were. And then I liked the way it would switch off to what the paper said, and then it would come back. It was a nice change up to me. It was very well written. She's a genius to me. from my perspective of what I was reading and how she even put everything together with the characters. I like that it were few characters in it. And I felt like I was in every scene with her. I mean, I remember she was in the foster care system and they were in the bathrooms and all this. And I literally was picturing a bathroom. Like I started visualizing a lot of the places that she was talking about because she was so descriptive to me. And it was very believable. And it sounded like something I would never know anything about. So it was very interesting, the settings and all that. But I enjoyed it. The end was a little, it crashed out a little bit, you know. But it was to me, it was still a well-written book.
Okay.
I enjoyed the author. I enjoyed the way she developed the characters. I liked it. I thought it was believable. It seemed believable from some of the crazy people I know. And it was really good. So I would give it an 8. I would give it a solid 8.
Okay. So we got an 8 kicking off allegedly by Miss Tiffany D. Jackson. Coming to my brother next. You know, he ain't really no fan of no fictional book. So
he's not.
Me either. I'm not that much either.
I'm kind of curious. You know, he's always our wild card of the group. So I'm kind of curious to Isaiah, what did you think about this book? And if you had to rate it on that scale of 1 to 10, what would that be?
Well, not allegedly. My perspective is way different from Laria. You know, first, like Chris said, this story follows Mary, a young girl convicted of a serious crime. She's living in a group home, and it feels more like a kid's prison when you actually listen to the stories, what's going on. You know, my biggest issue with the writing style, it felt like a little bit choppy. Like it was a lot of storyline, a lot of things that was introduced that you were just left hanging with. And the reason that I don't really dig into a lot of the fictional books is because I seem to get a lot emotional attached to people. And I don't want to get emotionally attached to these characters that are not believable. And I'm following these stories. Dead. I'm like, what is going on? I'm feeling sympathy for Mary. Like Mary was my girl. She's studying for the SATs. She's carrying herself well, you know, calling her baby Bean and she's pregnant, but trying to get emancipated from her crazy mama. And then what really that struck me that I started liking Mary was that she went to that project home looking for Ted in the roughest part of the neighborhood. I'm like, wait, Mary is really a G. But to get to the end, I'm like, Mary is a psychopath. I'm like, Mary, you had me all the way to the end. So that's why I hate being when I'm emotionally connected to these characters. Like, but overall, it was a really good book. I knew I threw it down a couple of times. Like, I'm tired of reading this. But when I, listen to the backstory of Tiffany Jackson, I'm like, okay, she went to Howard, so I guess I keep reading the book as well. Too. That's the only way.
HBCU, so we can keep going.
She went to HBCU, so that's the only reason I kept reading the book. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna finish this book, but. Mary had me to the very end of the book. We're going to get into that deeper later as well, too. But I'm like, Mary, come on now. I was with you. I was believing everything that you were saying, and listen to Mary's story. She sounded a little younger than she actually was, based on her experience. I'm like, wow, why is she talking and sounding like that? From a teenage perspective, they're more outgoing, but she was just so quiet. But I guess the trauma and the things that she has went through, like you would kind of be more reserved. And, when life and the people that you have been trusted to, take care of you have disappointed you and the system have failed you. Of course, I would shy and walk away because who can you feel safe around when everything is just turmoil and every single day that you wake up? But overall, it was a really good story. As well too. If you like that, if you like those thrills, if you like those fictional characters, this is the perfect book for you. But I would guess I would rate this book. Oh, I don't want to do 0.5, so I do it.
Yeah, do a point.
No.
Yes, you can, Isaiah. You can.
No points. We need to round up.
I was gonna do a 6.5, but I would stay with a 6.
Yeah, like Kim don't want to be left out.
6.4.
6.5.
That was a 6.5 if you lean back to the 6. It's supposed to be rounded up to a 7.
Okay, so we got an 8 and a 6 thus far for Allegedly by Tiffany Jackson. To kind of piggyback off what Isaiah said, and Laria, so there was a lot of character development. And I think even Isaiah, you getting frustrated is a true testament to how well Tiffany like wrote the book, because you do get so immersed into the characters and things of that sort. So I listened to the book on Audible, and I don't know who the narrator was, but shout out to her, because she
did good. She did a lot of voices.
She did awesome. Like her voice, like she literally got into character. I mean, she was, whether it was kid, adult, man, woman, like accents from like the Caribbean accent, like she covered every character very well. This one woman, like I need to find her name, but yeah, shout out to her, because she did a great job narrating this book, and I think she brought life to those that actually may have listened to it on Audible. So from that perspective, it was very good. Kind of like Isaiah and Laria. Like I'm not a huge fan of fiction, but this book was very well written. Like almost to the point I was starting to question, like, did this really happen? Like I was ready to Google, like, did like Mary Addison,
did seem like it was real.
Yes.
did a child die being babysitted by a nanny? Like it was right. That detail at certain points. So Tiffany did a great job of writing the book and executing. Even kind of hearing the story and how like Mary's kind of life unfolds. You know, this traumatic event happened. She goes to like this foster care home, and then or jail temporarily, going through the court systems and all this stuff, and literally like just not speaking, not talking, not really saying anything. And so of course a traumatic experience, but even her to kind of grow up and be surrounded by these other women or young girls and hearing the things that they've done, and they all have kind of, you know, extreme backgrounds. You know, she's very smart. She wants to, you know, go on to college and kind of, you know, set a new path for herself. And even find out about college from another, I don't want to say inmate, but another girl that's like in the foster system with her, and learning about internet and all this stuff. So just a very detailed story. It took me a while to get into it. It was kind of a slow build up, but once I got into it, I was very, very deep into it. As Isaiah mentioned, that ending is, yeah. But we'll talk about that a little bit more. But if I had to rate the book, I think I'm gonna give it a 7.
Okay. We're on the same spectrum.
Yeah. Again, not my forte per se, but very well written. Good book. Good development with characters, and like I said, it was almost so realistic. I was questioning, like, did this really happen? So I think that's a good testament for any fictional book if you're questioning if it actually happened. So
yep.
All right, coming to Kim to wrap this one up. So on your scale of 1 to 10, look, no half numbers. You sticking? Sticking the whole numbers this year. What did you think about Allegedly, and what would that rating be?
So actually, this was my pick for this season. I heard about Tiffany D. Jackson just in a lot of different Facebook book groups I'm in. And I was like, oh, she has a lot of books. So I was like, I want to experience reading one of her novels. So I picked this book. I enjoyed the book. Like Chris said, I listened to it on Audible, and the narrator, I did want to look her up because I was like, she was doing so many different voices and accents. I was like, man, she whatever she got paid, I hope it was enough. If not, she need to go back and pay her some more, because it was really good. When I was listening to the book, it reminded me of, actually, I used to be a Lifetime movie like fanatic. So when I was listening to it, it reminded me like those Lifetime movie thrillers that I used to watch all day on Saturday. So it was right up my alley. And I love fiction books. Like that's the majority of the books I read are fiction. So it was right up my alley. So I enjoyed it. It was like a good ride, you know, a nice thriller fiction ride. If I could rate it, I would, since I can't do halves, I'm going to go up. So I'm going to go for Laria and rate it an 8. I thought it was a solid book. It's an easy listen. It's entertaining. You know, it'll have those like, so there are some points that I was listening to it. I was like, oh, let me get to the next chapter, because it was kind of like that anticipation. So she did well building that. And the end, you know, is polarizing. That's also why I picked it, because I saw online people either loved the end or hated the end, or they was doing all kinds of stuff. So anyway, but overall, I enjoyed the book and I would recommend it. And I do want to read. She has a new book called The Scammer that's out, so I'm going to listen to that too, because I enjoyed her book.
Okay, good. So we got 2 8s, a 7, and a 6 for my January book pick. And as Kim mentioned, this year on Four Friends in the Book, we're kind of all picking a book that we are selected from one of the friends. So Isaiah's knocked out his book. Kim has knocked out her book. And so me and Laria up at some point throughout this season. But also really looking for you guys to kind of recommend some books as well. So again, still hit us up in the comments, send us an email, DM us for a book pick for this season of Four Friends in the Book podcast. All right. So again, 2 8s, 7, and a 6 for Allegedly by Miss Tiffany D. Jackson. So Kim kind of touched on it, and I want to kind of pull that thread a little further. The ending. So the ending was very polarizing because I think you get on this journey of hearing about Mary and then find out about her mom and thinking like, maybe her mom was kind of crazy. Like maybe Mary didn't actually do this. It sounds like she was just put in a bad situation. Even find out that there was another infant that had died prior to her. It was a lot of death that's taking place. So she had a baby brother that died. And even hearing about her mom's boyfriend, like he miraculously just passes away as well. So a lot of suspense and mystery around like death and what's going on. And so you're hearing these stories, and I think even from a reader perspective, I'm like, all right, I'm Team Mary. Like, we need to free her. She didn't do this.
Right.
Right.
And we get to the end, and I told y'all we giving spoilers, but the book just flipped upside down, and we find out, as Isaiah mentioned, like, Mary really got some. She got some psychopathic, like psychotic activities going on. Like she has truly mastermind this whole scenario and has flipped everyone upside down. Like everybody believe in her. And now ready to send the mama to jail. And in actuality, like, Mary legitimately, like, she was the one. So want to kind of get you guys' thoughts and opinions about the ending of the book. So again, it paints this picture, leads up to all this stuff, and then the last few paragraphs, I don't even say the whole chapter. Like, it just really it ran crazy at the end.
That's it.
It turned upside down. And so kind of want to get you guys' thoughts about the ending of the book. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What did you think about it? And I'm going to come to my brother on this one, man.
Look at I can't wait to hear this.
What did you think about this ending? Or even would you have rewritten it? Like, what would that have been? But kind of overall, did you like it, hate it? If you could have redid it, what would that have looked like for you?
I hated the ending. I was Team Mary all the way to the end. Like, you invested in this child, you believing in this child, you thinking that I'm trying to make sure she have a calculator to take her SAT. And what's going on? Like, what can I do to help her succeed? And realize that she actually did. I'm like,
where her GoFundMe at?
Like, I'm ready to support. Like, I'm invested in Mary. I want to see the best of her, to realize that she actually gave the child the pills. Like, Mary, you really are a psychopath. Like, I'm really a good judge of character. Like, she really took it from me. I'm like, why is Mary in this group home? Why she's not living with somebody else? She don't have a family member. Like, I'm Team Mary. I'm invested in her well-being. Like, if I could have changed the end and I wanted Mary to go off to college and succeed and be that attorney who she wanted to be, but no, Mary, you need to be exactly where you were right there, not the group home, but another home,
prison.
A psycho home, because something is medicated. Exactly going with her. Mary, ain't no more allegedly. She did that. She did it. Allegedly is out the window. She actually did that. So that's why I'm like,
allegedly.
These fictional books. That's why I be invested in these people. I won't be want to do good. I was Team Mary until that, like Chris said, like the book, like it takes you on this roller coaster. But I hate when I'm on this Ferris wheel and I'm left at the top and I am hanging. Like, what are you supposed to want? What do you want me to do on the last 2 paragraphs? Then we close the book and that's end. Like, and I know it's not going to be a sequel. Like, this is just the end of this book. But overall, I hated the ending. But I want you all to read it to see why I hated it as
well. Hilarious.
That's
no
good.
More allegedly.
That's good. Coming to Kim next on that. How did you feel about the ending of the book? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Would you have rewritten it? Like, what is your overall thoughts?
I wouldn't have rewritten it. I actually kind of suspected it, only because I watched Lifetime movies and they do that a lot on their movies. So I was kind of like, I was already side-eyeing her. Like in the beginning, I was like, okay, you know, like I say, I was like kind of buying in. But the little context clues she was given, like you would listen to one of like the interviews or something, it would go back to a news story and it'll talk about her blacking out or her being like having tendency, like it was such mixed reviews about her. So I started being like, And then when she started talking about blacking out and she didn't realize she was blacking out and how the people in the home were kind of scared about her and she was like, we're forgetting things. So that's when I was like, okay, I think she's crazy. So by the time I got to the end, I was kind of like, okay, I could kind of see that coming. So I still enjoyed it because I was like I said, this is classic Lifetime. It was a good old twist at the end. She ended up being crazy. And now she was just out in the world free, got a child coming and she got her name clear, got people believing her. And, you know, she's riding off into the sunset. Left Ted, is the name Ted? She's like, I don't care. I don't care if I see him again. She just got her and her child. So, hey, I mean, it made me think like, you know what, this probably does happen quite often. Yeah. So, so I enjoyed the ending and I enjoyed the twist, like I said, because I love a good Lifetime flick and twist. So it was good.
Wow. That's good. So apparently I don't watch enough Lifetime because I was really thrown by the end and I did not see it coming. Like I had no idea. Mary had me fooled the same way she had all the characters in the book fooled. Like, I mean, she even got the dead baby's mama on like Team Mary. She convinced her to be like, hey, I didn't do this. It was my mama. She and she was like, yeah, I knew something wasn't right about the whole story. So like she had everyone convinced. Like Mary has gone and got like some legal aid to like one of those little like innocent projects, pro bono law group when they behind her. And like she had everyone convinced that she did not do this crime. And I was convinced as well. And so to get to the end and find out that like Mary actually stuffed these pills in this baby's mouth, and was the kind of the reason why the child died. Even in her, like in the chaos of all this stuff, she was still smart enough and still like aware enough to kind of plan and plot and do things, even to set her mama up. And so it was a lot, and I did not see it coming. But I think that's a good testament to how Tiffany wrote the book because I wasn't expecting it. I thought Mary's gonna go on and like go take these SATs and go to college and all this good stuff, and she would get emancipated. Like I was just really looking at all that stuff, not even thinking about the fact that she literally had done this. I would have liked to hear like the next few years, like she had a child and like what was next, or did her and Ted reckon? Like I would have wanted to hear some of that, but I think overall the ending was very fitting because it was that like complete 180 from what I think everyone that was already, well, I guess all the non-Lifetime people weren't expecting. So I was definitely surprised. And so I think it was a good ending. It's one of those love-hate things. Like you love it and hate it at the same time. So.
Yeah.
All right, coming to Laria, what did you think about this ending of allegedly by Miss Tiffany D. Jackson?
I was laughing at myself because I was like, oh, okay. You know, and I was like you guys, I do watch Lifetime and Hallmark movies all the time. So I'm kind of used to a good plot twist, but I just didn't see that one coming. So when it happened, I was like, she got me. Okay. You know, because in my head, I'm like, you know, her mom is, because she kept saying, you need to just come clean and da-da-da, you know, and I'm like, and then her mom would just leave and be like, okay, all right, talk to you later, and, you know, and be gone. So I just knew it was anybody but her. And I'm like, Isaiah, I was thinking about the calculator. We need to get her a better calculator. The lady in the SAT class trying to help her out. You know, I'm crying all in. And I'm thinking, you know, she pregnant. I'm like, oh my God, and everything. So when it was stated at the end, I was like, that was the first thing. I was like, okay. I said, she got me. I just didn't think that was what it was. I thought about it at first, but she kept let me buy. That's why I said she was a good writer, because she kept allowing you to buy into what you were thinking to go down that path. And then it was kind of like cliffhanger, literally. So I didn't see it coming, but it was good. I like a good plot twist where it's like, but not Tyler Perry type plot twist, but
Get you straight.
I know you can't straight. I'm sorry.
I bet
You know,
TP.
because sometimes TP's plot twist be a little too far. It'd be telenovela. Hers was believable, you know, because it was kind of like, yeah, that could have happened. So.
So a good twist, but not quite Tyler Perry-ish.
Yeah, it was believable. It was believable. Like she could have done that for real. So yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. All right. So prior to us finding out that Mary actually is psychotic and that she did all these things, and we were all team Mary, like, the system has failed her,
right.
The legal system has failed her, the foster care system has failed her, like she's innocent. Law enforcement, like she can't even get a lawyer right now, like all these things are failing her. Like, so prior to that, I mean, we kind of really get immersed into the systems that one may fall victim to in a similar situation, whether it's being in foster care, whether it's like the legal system, not even being able to get an ID, not having adults to really support and assist you. Even her mom, who's supposed to be responsible for taking care of her, but like she still kind of has some mental issues as well. And so there are several areas that were kind of highlighted throughout this book that could have potentially failed Mary or did fail Mary. And kind of want to give you guys thoughts and opinions. Again, I know as we got to the end, we found out that Mary, she probably should have been locked up. But prior to that, do you feel like any of these like social services or these systems that would normally be afforded to a child to kind of aid in the system, do you feel like they may have failed Mary kind of in that regard? So, and coming to Kim on that question, again, just talking about foster care, social services, legal system, legal aid, even parenting or parenthood. Like, do you feel like she was failed in any of those areas?
I think she's failed in all the areas, honestly. Thinking about the home she's in, the ladies over the home were just basically in it for the money. Like they were being abused in there. They weren't reporting that. And then the whole just system as a whole, her getting arrested and convicted. It made me think when I was listening to it, like it was a while ago, I remember hearing a quote from a lawyer, and he was saying, like, in our system here in America, would you rather be guilty and rich or innocent and poor? And I think her relating it back to Mary, I think if she was like rich, she wouldn't even have went to the group home or none of that stuff. And I honestly think even if she was like, they were saying like a little white girl, they would have sent her to like a mental asylum and she would have been okay. But that's just, I think how they treated her in the book, it's actually reflective of how our justice system really is to kids of color. So she, and people that don't have money. So she couldn't get a good public defender. She like didn't get a fair trial. And then she couldn't really appeal. And then she didn't have the money and stuff to appeal. And then on top of that, being a little Black girl, she didn't get the whole innocent in the public opinion. She was kind of more of a villain. Yes. So I do agree. I say if it was real life, I think they would have sent her to a mental hospital. I'm like, she's not well. And, she would have did that and came out like the girl that I can't think of her name that came out that she killed her mom. I cannot think her name. She's a little older, but her mom, I have to look it up. I'll put it on the screen while I'm editing this. But she got out not too long ago. But when she was a teen, her moms were crazy. She ended up killing her mom, and she's out now as an adult. But she's kind of like, I don't know. People kind of look at her like sympathetic.
And they're like, John Benet Ramsey, or was it?
No, I have to look it up.
Her parents killed her. Allegedly.
Okay.
Allegedly.
But it made me think about her because like she came out, she was like on TikTok and everything doing makeover. She got married, now she's divorced. It's a whole thing. But it just made me think about how our justice system is. So that's the main system I think that really failed Mary when it came to this is our justice system. And again, I think what she went through in the book, being a young Black girl and poor, it was reflective of how like her outcome came. So
yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's good. And you bring up a good point. We kind of talked about this before. Like, it seems like justice is not about justice; it's about like the economics. Because you can literally commit murder, but if you have the means to pay for your bail, like you can go free. And so it does become a economical standing as far as your innocence or your guilt. If you can lawyer up and get the best lawyers to kind of fight your case, you have a better chance of getting off. And so it's not truly even about justice in some of those areas. It's more so about who can you pay off, or do you have the means to afford you these opportunities. So this is a good point that you brought up, Kim. Laria, Isaiah, any thoughts about these systems or what may or may not have failed Mary, as we're kind of hearing about her story and kind of just her journey through foster care, the legal system, social services, like legal aid, even her mom as well?
I think like how you and Kim highlighted earlier, like because Mary was a Black girl and was poor and come from a good economic background, like this is why the system failed her. Like we see it time and time. I know so many other young Marys that out there, like it's so important, for us, like even on a serious note, for showing up, listening to our young future as well. When they said they're going through something, like we have to listen more intently about what they're actually going through. Like, Mary believed that her stepdad was molesting her as well too. So who knows what these kids go on in the background, especially a home that it should be safe in. And then you go out in society and then your school is not treating you right. And then once again, you can be shuffled into the justice system. Now you have a record going forward that you can't even get presented with a job or even scholarships or even go off to college. So it just trickles down on how poor, uneconomic Black kids. It's sad that we have to narrate it to them because it does affect the Black community more often than other community as well too. So I think that just basically believing in our young adults, even advocacy of going beyond just our family members, just like going to support these school districts as well too, because some kids or some families don't even know what I guess are out there to help assist them as well too if they are going through something. So I think just protecting our youth, being intentional about creating better spaces for them, a better way to push them into society, because these 9 and 10-year-olds, they don't know how to advocate for themselves. They're a child. Yeah. They're innocent. Like it should be us as an adult protecting them.
Oh, that's good. That's good, bro. Laria, any thoughts on that?
It wasn't my rant.
Y'all have said everything. I'm like, I ain't got
wasn't my rant
little crumbs. But yeah, I agree. I thought about a young man that I knew that went through the foster care system, and he ended up going to Fort Valley State. And my mom knew him. She rented to him, and it kind of reminded me of that because we never knew what he went through, but he was able to get to college. He actually graduated, and his thing was, because my mom would say, hey, well, she would forget. And she'd say, well, just call your family so you can get some help with your car or whatever. And he'd be like, well, I can't call anybody. I don't have anybody to call. He went through the foster care system. And she would help him out with little things. And I'd be like, Mom, pay for his taillight. I mean, it's $100. You can do, help him out. She was like, oh, I didn't even think about, because he just, we take for granted we got family to call. And he just never had that. And I was thinking about that when I was listening to the book on Audible. Like, man, you just never know what people go through. And you don't know. There are some great foster homes, but there are some not so good ones. Because when I was listening to the book and she was talking about all the locks on the doors, it was basically to keep them in so they wouldn't, it was almost like a prison, Yeah. And I was just thinking like, man, what a way to live where people are fussing and cussing each other out. Kids are fighting each other. It's just, and you got these ladies there. Yeah. And these ladies there that are supposed to be assisting in your recovery. And they're telling you how stupid you are and you can't do this and what you can't, it's just like, man, what kind of life is that? And then when that person enters society, we have all these stipulations. You need to be this and you need to, be a productive citizen. Well, how productive can you be going through something like that? So it kind of shined another light to me about, just having empathy for those who have to go through that system that way. Because you just don't know what people are going through and what they've been through, even as children. So it just kind of Made me sad a little bit when I was listening to it because I'm like, Isaiah, I get all into character.
Yeah.
These are characters, but in my head, this is real life, you know.
Real person. Yeah.
Right. But anyway, I once again, that goes back to her writing. I mean, it feels like she actually did research on foster homes or knows something about that for her to write so well about it. So, because I had no clue, you know?
Yeah. And even to kind of pull or to kind of piggyback on that point, Laria, because we hear like Ted's perspective. So he ends up aging out of the foster care system. And so now he's 18, get out, go find somewhere to live. And so he ended up like messing with girls to go try to, be taken care of. But again, he's now responsible to be, this productive citizen, but you've just been booted out of all that you've known as far as a home life. Without any aid, without any assistance. And so even that, like you're at a disadvantage, even starting your adult life because you're kind of behind the curve and you don't have any support. And literally once you get to the age of 18, like you're just being booted out to go figure it out on your own. And so, it definitely shed a light on, I guess, the foster care system. And as you mentioned, like a true testament to how well Tiffany did write the book and kind of the realistic aspects she kind of covered. So.
Can I leave out on a lighter note?
Okay. Yeah, light it up for her, bro. Light it up for us.
Just shout out to that wildcat who went through the foster system, who graduated as well. So I hope you thrive, brother. I don't know who your name is, but I hope you listen to this and you thrive and you know it is going to be a brighter day for tomorrow. Remember every principle that you was taught there, that you will win, that you will shine, that you will represent everywhere you go. Peace and love to you, brother.
Okay. Look.
Wildcat to Wildcat.
Right.
from Mr. Fort Valley himself. Look, Isaiah was awarded, was it last year? 40 under 40. So
he was.
Definitely a true testament to the product that's produced from that institution, from that HBCU. And so as he was shouting out, Tiffany Jackson and her collegiate association, we want to shout out Isaiah and all those others that are, definitely a product of those institutions and the greatness that's being developed and produced there. So, all right. So again, we have read Allegedly by Miss Tiffany D. Jackson for the month of January 2026. We had 2 8s, a 7, and a 6 here on Four Friends. We would love to hear you guys rating. So right now, drop us a comment. Let us know what you thought about this book. What did you thought about the ending? And even this discussion we just had about, foster care and legal systems and justice and all those things as well. We would love to, get that feedback and input from you guys as well. So, all right. So switching gears just a little bit, Four Friends in the Book, we don't only read books. We like to talk about things that are going on within our country, within our community, within this nation, this world as well. And so, a lot of stuff going on, man. It's just, the life is just so surreal. Like every time I feel like we're getting to a turning point and things are kind of settling out, like it's something else. I mean, we still in oil from Venezuela right now. Like we done took the president from the country.
Right. Oh,
we got ICE running rampant within our country. It's just so much going on right now. And it just is, again, it's so surreal. But I really want to talk about this, this latest killing of Miss Renee Nicole Good in Minneapolis. Essentially, like killed, executed by an ICE agent. A United States citizen. I mean, she wasn't a part of the raid, the ring up. Like she really had nothing to do with it. She's really just trying to be a good neighbor and a good citizen within her community because there are some things that are very questionable about what's taking place with ICE right now and their tactics as far as how they're approaching this whole system of trying to, find, illegal aliens within this country. And so very unfortunate event and just death and loss of life in this country. And again, it's just so much going on, but kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit, get you guys thoughts and opinions about just this current state of, I don't even know what to call it. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Turmoil, foolishness.
Yeah, this thing
Breathe
of
through it.
turmoil. Like, it's so weird. And so I want to kind of open the floor up for you guys to kind of speak on that. I mean, again, this just recently happened. There's a lot of protests that are out right now. A lot of different, people, individuals, groups, cities are coming together to kind of protest and stand against, these activities right now. So kind of want to get you guys' thoughts and opinion about this current state as well. So the floor is open. Like, I know Rant Man want to go, but
I want somebody to go.
Look, I'll go and give a quick. But I just think it's ridiculous. My heart goes out to their family. That's just, it's awful. I just, every month we come in and talk about the things that are happening in our world. And it seems like over the past year, it's just been like, the stuff we've talked about has been terrible. And it's getting worse, it seems like. And I'm just like, dog, it's like every topic we have, what do you all think about how we did? It's like, golly. And it seems like the old folks say it's worse and worse. It's like, man, I can't. There's nothing really to say. We don't have checks and balances like we used to. We don't have people being held accountable. And it's not saying that we got this perfect system, but you'll never hear about an ICE agent now, not some racist police officer, but an ICE agent. Like what? It's just, we so far gone and so far away from right and wrong. It's scary. And I don't know where we're headed as a country with all of this. Correct. Because, and it doesn't look good. I'm just going to be honest about it. It just does not look good, but it's extremely unfortunate. It's evil and it's just not right. And I hate that we're a part of a society now with all of this happening. I do. And it's only a matter of time before it gets closer to us. Because if you have that mentality of, oh, that ain't gonna happen to me, one of my favorite quotes by Dr. King is, what affects one affects all.
Correct.
And it's only a matter of time before it affects us, especially in the African American community. And we can line dance, act like ain't nothing going on all day. Right. But it's coming to us at some point. It's already, of course, we've had our own share of everything, but it's only a matter of time before it trickles down to us. So my heart goes out to that family, and I don't have no words really, but what I just said, that's it. That's all I got.
Yeah. Kim, any additional thoughts or opinions about just kind of what's going on right now?
Yeah, when I heard about it, I was not surprised, because just how ICE has been trending lately, and they're just actions, you could see it kind of going that way. Just to see online all the videos from, just social media, from TikTok, Instagram, just seeing how they operate and how violent they are and how they're just walking up to people, don't hear them speak. They're just going off of how they look. So of course we know how they're saying they're only going at illegal immigrants, but they're white illegal immigrants here in America. There's plenty of those, but I don't see ICE stopping any white people in any of these videos. It's just black and brown people, and just them going up. I'm like, it's America, but seeing like ICE agents like rush people and being like, "Where are your papers? Where are you from? Are you legal citizen?" It's just like, it's just so crazy for me to see that. I just saw a lady was trying to do Uber Eats. She had to run into the house of the lady that she was delivering to, because they were like chasing her. It's just crazy to see. And I never thought I would see them acted this way here in America. And also just have, like, of course, the administration with what happened with the lady that just passed away, how one thing happened and everybody saw it happen a certain way, and they come out and say, that's not what happened. It happened this way. And just, you blatantly see that it's a lie, and you're seeing what happened. So I think them coming out, covering ICE is going to embolden even more officers. But it's just terrible to just see, like, they're beating up American citizens, people that like have their passports, have papers, and then they're like beating them up. They're telling them I'm a citizen. They're detaining them, and then later letting them go and be like, oh, okay. But that's just not right. And like Laria said, I think it just gets closer and closer to home. And like
Mhm.
this lady, she was an American citizen. She was a white lady, you know, and that's something
Mhm.
like you never thought you would see happen with ICE. With what they're
Correct.
going after. So I just think it's absolutely terrible. Like Laria said, heart goes out to her family. And I just
Mhm.
can't believe what I'm seeing. It's unbelievable.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So really won't diminish the shooting of Renee Good. My heart do goes out to her family, but I'm not gonna act like Keith Porter wasn't killed by these same ICE agents a couple of weeks ago. He was a black man. He was shot by an ICE agent celebrating New Year's in Los Angeles. 43 years old. I think he had two daughters. No arrest has been made. And like Renee Good, he was an American citizen. But most people don't hear about Keith Porter. You know, I need people to understand something, that Black people experience this lack of visibility in this country when it comes to being victims. There are countless Black victims that no one hasn't even heard about, but much has less seen about this domestic. This is not even what it is, domestic terrorism, because it's happening in our own particular country. About how are you attacking your citizens? That's what I'm not understanding as well. You know, this definitely needs to be talked about. But I think the fact that how Renee's story got picked up so quickly because hers was caught on camera and his wasn't as well too. But like, does demographic play a part of this as well too? Like, because it's like his is not being talked about at all. Like, this just happened New Year's Eve. Not New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. And here we go talking about Renee, and we don't even hear his story as well too. He was also attacked by these same ICE agent. Like, I don't understand what like you say, it's no checks and balances going on. They're just like free willing, doing exactly what they want to do, going into these different cities, just attack. They're not calling attack, they're calling trying to restructure crime. But the people that you are out there getting, they're not committing crimes. They're just driving, doing what regular citizens are doing in their own community. I think both are important, you know, with Keith's story and Renee's story as well too. And justice should be served with both particular individuals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. And brother, honestly, you enlightened me because I wasn't aware of Keith's story. And so it is a true testament to how so much is happening within this country. And to Laria's point, I think it is hitting home for some others. I mean, we've seen some of these injustices to play out in other areas of our, like, you know, justice system, you know, with police shootings and things of that sort. And so now to get to the point of ICE, you know, detaining American citizens and now killing American citizens in this police state where they're going into businesses, they're going into homes, they're going into schools, masked up. I mean, not even, you know, unmarked vehicles. And so it's just so surreal. It's still crazy. And as you guys mentioned, like, I can't believe this is where we are right now within our country. And it does seem that every month, you know, we're questioning the humanity of people in our country and our nation and just things as a whole, because it's just unbelievable that we're in this state. And so I hope these become like the wake up calls for everyone to be involved and to take a stance for justice and for what's right.
Correct.
Before it actually hits like directly in your home, before it falls directly in your lap, because this stuff just isn't right. And we shouldn't wait till it happens like personally for us to make a stance or stand up against it, because these things aren't legal and they're just not right. And so it's just crazy that we're in this state. And so I'm hoping that this is the wake up that these, you know, horrible acts, you know, become somewhat of a catalyst for people to kind of wake up and see, you know, and take a stance for the greater good of our nation and our country, and just again for humanity as a whole. So, all right, y'all. Yeah, it's crazy times, crazy things going on. But you know, we talk about them, we discuss them, we don't shy away from those topics, and hopefully we can, you know, enlighten and help everyone to be aware, and we can kind of move on and be greater, a greater nation, a greater people, and kind of grow and learn from these things. So,
Yes.
all right. So just wrapped up the book for this month. So allegedly by Miss Tiffany D. Jackson. If you hadn't read it, I don't know what y'all doing. Y'all should be reading it. And even joining in with these great conversations that we're having. But this is now time for our favorite segment of the show. Would not be a show without it, which we entitle The Rant. Time period where we give Mr. Isaiah 60 seconds to kind of speak from his heart, whatever's on his mind. We don't really debate it. We don't contest it. Look, he rant throughout the episode anyway.
I try not to.
But we give him this time to really just to go and speak his mind. Unapologetic, man. He flows from the heart. A lot of times he's just really educating and enlightening us and even making us aware of stuff. So, my brother, the floor is yours once again. 60 seconds on the clock, starting now. Go.
Nicki Minaj showing up at a United Nations panel about the persecution of Christians in Nigeria raised real questions about celebrity responsibility and influence, not just because she spoke, but because of where she spoke and who she's aligned with. And when you have a platform that big, especially one built on the support of Black folk across the world, there's an expectation that you move with care and intention. And if you're going to speak on serious global issues, especially the ones tied to politics and religion, you got to do your homework. You just can't run with the first story that you hear. A lot of folk feel that she was welcomed by the right wing that made her feel welcome, and in a time when she seemed isolated and at odds with the industry. But seeing her on this global platform, saying the things that she said were disappointing and confusing for many, especially knowing how diverse her fan base is. It's wild to watch someone who was lifted by the culture move in the ways that feel disconnected from it. And you start wondering what the payout was and whether it was worth it. But like the good book says, what does it profit if you gain the world and you lose your soul? And that's that on that.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I don't even know what to say about that.
I know the bar's gonna be in our comments.
I mean, so everyone has an opinion, and I just think that becomes a thing. Some of these opinions, especially based on whatever platform that you have, at least take the time to be educated and to be informed before you go and make these strong stances. And so that's all I can really say on that, man. I don't know. It's a lot going on right here.
I feel you're going to be on a global stage like United Nations. You got to do your homework. You got to know what you're talking about. And, she's a good rapper, but who invited her to listen to her point of view on global influence in international waters? Like, really, Nicki Minaj? Okay.
Yeah.
So Malcolm X said they give us all the celebrities and everything.
That's it.
I was saying the same quote.
That's
because,
it.
Again, when you have your
real husband,
my boo, didn't he say it all?
Yeah, when you have your entertainers and your celebrities now speaking up on policy and governance, standings and things of that sort, like that within itself should be very telling to the state of our systems and kind of what we value, because if really not celebrities lead us, like we failed somewhere. So,
and she shut down her social media because she was losing millions of followers based on those comments that she made.
Yeah. All right, so brother, once again, good rant, and thank you for keeping us informed and educated here on Four Friends in a Book podcast. All right, Isaiah, so tell them what we have coming up for the month of February here on Four Friends in a Book.
So next month, we kick off Black History Month, and it's going to be rooted in Black hope, Black power, and most definitely Black excellence as we dive into Black AF history, the unwhitewashed story of America by Michael Harriot. You do not want to miss it. Lareal, please let the viewers know when they can tune in.
You tune in every third Thursday at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'd love to see you.
Yep. And if you're watching us right now on YouTube, again, like this video, give us a comment, subscribe to our channel on social media. Make sure to like us on Facebook and to follow us on Instagram to keep up with your favorite 4 friends.
Absolutely. And guys, look, we're also on those podcasting services. So if you don't want to see our pretty faces, you can always just listen to us. So if you're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, go find 4 Friends in the Book podcast there. Subscribe. Leave us a review. Leave us comments there as well. We would love to hear from you guys. And look, tell a friend to tell a friend about these 4 friends. Like share these good books, these good conversations, these good topics that we're having here.
Amen.
Each month. And as always, let's continue to read, let's learn, let's grow, and let's have a discussion right here on 4 Friends in a Book. Until next time, thank you guys.
Thank you guys.